Happy morning, children. Welcome to Blue Stars High Secondary School online classes. Today we are going to see our English class for Standard 9. Okay. Before getting into the class, I hope you all are fine. And today's thought for the day. Okay. Holding on to anger is like grasping a hot coal with the intent of throwing it at someone else. You're the one who's getting burned. Okay, this quote is said by Buddha. Such a beautiful quote. See here, it's like if you are just holding the anger, enmity within yourself, it is just like throwing a hot coal. Can you touch the hot coal with your hand? No. But it is like that only. Okay, holding the anger within yourself, it is keeping the angry within yourself. Okay, it is like holding the hot coal. We'll be showing our anger to the others, isn't it? It is just like throwing this hot coal onto others only, but you have to hold the hot coal, which is not possible. Okay, so never have anger or enmity on anyone, because you are the one who's getting spoiled. Okay, anger will cause bad only for us. Okay, it will spoil us. So better don't get anger or don't create enmity over others. Okay, children. So with a positive thought, we just get into today's lesson. Today we are going to see a poem. It is from Unit 2. Already we have seen the Unit 1 prose, isn't it? I can't climb trees anymore. Today we are going to see this Unit 2 poem. It's A Poison Tree. Okay, why? This poem is written by William Blake. Okay, so what is the author name? William Blake. So a poison tree. So what do you mean by this title, a poison tree? The second unit is full of trees, isn't it? Yes. So here a poison tree. Let's see what the poet says about this poison tree. What does he mean by this? Okay. So before that, let me give you some introduction about the author. Who is the author? William Blake, isn't it? So he was a poet, he was a painter. He was born on 1757, okay, and he died on 1827. He was a greatest English poet after Milton, okay. So after Milton, he was a greatest English poet, sympathizer with the forces of revolution in America and France. So deeply interested in philosophy, okay, and theological debates of the time. Blake's poetry heralded a whole new era, okay. He wrote heavily symbolic poetry, which is often difficult to comprehend. What is to comprehend? His poems are very difficult to understand. Okay. He says the devil was the real hero of Milton's Paradise Lost. So he has also given some review about Milton's story too. He experimented with a new method of engraving. He developed a method of illuminated painting also. Okay, he said that once he has seen like a tree full of angels. Okay, and he has also envisioned God. So all these things was told by him. But during his lifetime, he was not praised that much. But after that, they understood the work of William Blake and they have just appreciated as the work of this poet. Okay, so just see this quote. To see a world in a grain of sand and a heaven in a wild flower. Hold infinity in the palm of your hand and eternity in one heart. So all these things are impossible, but it has some hidden meaning. Okay, so that is why his poem is very difficult to understand. It's an example, okay, of his poem. And now let me give you the glossary part. Okay, so here wrath means anger. Okay, foe is friend, enemy. Friend opposite is foe. Deceitful is like cunning or cheating, we can say. Okay, treacherous. Wiles is tricks. veiled, covered. Okay, so all these are easy words only. Okay, just I think no need of explaining these words because you know the easy meaning. And just try to remember the meaning for these words. And this is not a memory poem. Just listen but understand it. Okay. A Poison Tree by William Blake. Okay, you could see the tree here. So what we call this as the trunk of the tree, isn't it? So these are the roots coming down. Yes. So see here. I was angry with my friend. I told my wrath did end. I was angry with my foe. I told it not, my wrath did grow. And I watered it in fears, night and morning with my tears. And I sunned it with smiles and with soft, deceitful wiles. And it grew both day and night till it bore an apple bright. And my foe beheld it shine, and he knew that it was mine. And into my garden stole, when the night had veiled the pole. In the morning glad I see my foe outstretched beneath the tree. Okay, it's such a simple poem. And this full poem was written in the rhyme scheme called couplet. Okay, just see here. Friend end, foe grow, fierce tears, smiles wiles, night bright, shine mine, stole pole, see tree, isn't it? So you can just see the couplet of the words. Okay, so this full poem is written in the couplet basis. Okay, it's couplet scheme. The meaning of this poem is, so whenever we get angry with our friend, okay, we just convey why we are angry with them. And our anger ends there itself. But just see, if you are angry with your enemy, will you tell them? No. So the angry will grow. And how it grows, okay, what happened if the anger is growing? And what it will cause to the enemy? That is the main concept of this poem. So the main theme is we should not cultivate or create enmity. Don't have angry on anybody else. Understood? That is the main theme of this poem. Now let's get into the poem. The first stanza, just see here. I was angry with my friend. I told my wrath did end. It's very easy, isn't it? See, I was angry with my friend. I told my wrath did end, which means I was angry with my friend. I just told him why I am angry. And my anger, we just sort it out. Okay, we were just talk to each other and we just sort it out, and my anger gone away. Understood? See here, I was angry with my friend. I told my wrath did end. Understood? I was angry with my foe. See, here, foe refers to the enemy, isn't it? I told it not, my wrath did grow. So what is the meaning of it? I was angry with my enemy. I didn't say why I am angry. So I just kept the anger within myself. Okay, so my anger was keeping on growing. Okay, because I was just thinking about it. Okay, so it is just keeping on growing within me. Understood? See here, I was angry with my friend. I told my wrath did end. Okay, so I was angry with my friend. I just told about my anger, why I am angry with them, and my anger just went away. I was angry with my foe. I was angry with my enemy. I didn't tell why I am angry, and my anger was keeping on growing inside me. Okay, do you understand these 4 lines, children? Now see here, the rhyming words I told you already. Friend, end, and foe, grow. Okay, so Just see the rhyming scheme. You know the rhyming scheme. The last poem itself, I told you what is the rhyming scheme, isn't it? So always you have to give A to the first line. So friend, end. So both are A. For, grow. So it is B. So grow is also B. So the rhyming scheme is A, B, B. The whole poem is written in this rhyme scheme only. A, B, B only. Understood? Okay. Do you understand this first stanza fully and the rhyme scheme? Okay, children. Now the second stanza. And I watered it in fears, night and morning with my tears. And I sunned it with smiles and with soft, deceitful wiles. So what he watered it in fears, he watered his anger, isn't it? Yes, his anger is, the anger towards the enemy. It starts growing inside the poet. And he is just watering it daily with fears. Okay, night and morning he is just crying. Okay, he is just holding this irritation inside, and he did not tell the person what was wrong or why did he get angry. So what he says that this vengeance was always increasing in his heart, and he is just nurturing the hatred, okay, with the fears, and he's just spending hours and hours together crying for the ill, for the sadness that is being caused to him by his enemy. Understood? So this is what? I watered it with fears, night and morning with my tears, because he was just crying over the illness caused by the enemy. Understood? And I sunned it with smiles and with soft, deceitful wiles. Okay, he also, so what's happening? He also nurtured the hatred with the sarcastic smile. So deceitful wiles and smiles. So is the smile true? No. It's a deceitful smile. It's a fake smile. Okay, he's not smiling with the true, love. Okay, it's a fake smile. I sunned it with smiles and with soft, deceitful wiles. So what is this? Soft, deceitful while means? What is this? Deceitful means? Yeah, cunning. Okay, cunning or cheating. Wiles is tricks, isn't it? So with some like cunning tricks, I'm just making him to believe that I'm smiling at him. Okay, but I want what all the sufferings I am going through, I want my enemy also to undergo the same sufferings. Okay, so see here, and I watered it in fears, night and morning with my tears, and I sunned it with smiles and with soft, deceitful wiles. Okay, so he is just crying over whatever happened to him, okay, because of the enemy, the anger which is growing inside is just watering it with fears, and night and morning with my tears. So he's just thinking again and again and is crying. Okay, I sunned it with smiles, which means he's just giving some deceitful smiles, some fake smile. Okay, and he's also playing some soft tricks just to cheat the enemy. Okay, this is what the stanza is about. And see the rhyming words here: fears, tears, smiles, and wiles. Again, it is A, scheme only. Okay. So alliteration. Do you remember this alliteration, children? Yeah, in the same line, whatever words are just repeating with the same consonant. See here, sunned and smiles. Here, sunned and smiles are just starting with yes. It's a consonant, right? So this is a alliteration. Okay, I sunned it with smiles. Metaphor. Metaphor means like comparison, isn't it? Comparing things. Okay, so here, and I watered it with fears. So what he watered in fears, he cannot water, just see here. He's just comparing his anger. Okay, he's just comparing his anger to the fears. He's watering it in a fears. Night and morning with my tears. Can anyone just water it, water the tree with the tears? No, but here he's just night and morning, he's just watering the plant with the tears. Understood? So here this tears is compared to the water here. And here, see here, yes. So metaphor. And I watered it in fears, night and morning with my tears. Okay, so comparison is done here. So this is a metaphor. Do you understand this stanza and the poem analysis, children? Now let's go to the third stanza. And it grew both day and night. What grew both day and night? The anger, isn't it? So the angry which the poet has over his enemy is growing both day and night till it bore an apple bright. So this anger grows into a tree and it also gives a bright apple. Understood? See here. The poet states it's because of this hatred. It has grown every day. And finally, the hatred gave birth to an apple. Understood? That is what? And it grew both day and night till it bore an apple bright. And my foe beheld it shine, and he knew that it was mine. Understood? The fruit signifies the evil that was taken birth in the heart of the poet. Understood? So he states that he has now come to a point from where he can't turn back and forget about his enemy until he does something to calm down his anger. Isn't it? So what he did? His enemy just sees the apple and thought it is very good and shiny, nice shiny apple, and he knew that the apple is mine. Is that a real apple? No. Let us see what the apple indicates in the next stanza. Now you understand it. See here. And it grew both day and night till it bore an apple bright. Understood? So what grows both day and night? The anger. Till when it grows, till it gives a shiny apple. Okay. And my foe beheld it shine, and he knew that it was mine. So what is the saying? My enemy who saw that, okay, here the enemy is seeing that apple is shining in the tree and he knows that it was mine. It is my apple, okay. So this is what the meaning. See here the rhyming words, night, bright, shine and mine. Again, A, B, B. Okay, so here just see, check out the alliteration. The first line, just see whether any alliteration is there. No. See the second line. Yes, bore and bright. Isn't it? So, till it bore an apple bright. This is alliteration. And now, see, it grew both day and night. What grew both day and night? The tree, the anger, isn't it? So, anger is comparing to a human here. It's personified. And it grew both day and night. And my foe beheld it shine. So what is this? My friend is seeing it. Beheld means seeing. Okay, so he just beheld it shine, which means he's just seeing the apple glowing. Will the apple glow? No. Again, it is personified. Okay, so it is personification. And it grew both day and night, and my foe beheld it shine. So both these lines are personification. Okay. Do you understand the meaning of this stanza and the rhyme scheme and the figure of speech, children? I hope so. So now let's go to the last stanza. See here. And into my garden stole when the night had veiled the pole. What is this? When the night had veiled the pole means into my garden stole. So into my garden, who is just taking this apple? The enemy is seeing the apple shining, so he just want to take it. Understood? So he's just coming and taking it. When the night has covered the tree, what is the meaning? So the enemy is waiting for the night time, so that he's just coming into the garden to steal the apple. Okay, this is the meaning. See here, and into my garden stole when the night had veiled the pole, which means when the night has covered the trees, when the night time arrives, my enemy is coming into the garden to steal the apple which is shining brightly in the tree. So after eating that apple, what happened? In the morning, glad I see my foe outstretched beneath the tree. So after he eats the apple, which was shining bright in the tree, in the morning, the poet could see the enemy is dead under the tree. He is very happy to see his enemy dead. Okay, outstretched means dead under the sea. Okay, so he is very happy. The poet is very happy that the purpose is done. Okay, because the day comes, finally the day comes when the poet's enemy has met the evil fruit of vengeance. Okay, evil fruit of anger that he has grown with his fears, tears and sarcasm. The fruit has now turned into a weapon. Understood? What weapon? When the enemy confronts with his anger, it is the time for the weapon to serve the purpose that is being made for. So what is the apple has been made for? To kill the enemy, isn't it? And the poet states the very next morning, the purpose is served because the enemy has eaten the apple during the night time and the morning it is done. When the poet wakes up and glimpses in the garden, he sees something that relaxes his mind and calms his vengeance forever. The darkness of the night acted like an invisible cloak for the poet. Now it's a beautiful morning. Okay, because all his vengeance has gone, so it is a beautiful morning. What he has seen under the tree, his enemy dead under the tree. Okay, because he is bit poisoned by the apple. Okay, of course he's is this good, do you think? No, because even in this poem the author says about the importance of communication. Whenever you face any problem under any situation, that has to be talked and sought out, isn't it? Instead of just having that enmity and hatred within your mind, every now and then we need to talk and sort out the problem. If we have that good communication with everyone, we will not keep that anger in their mind. Okay, we will not develop enmity, we will not have hatred. So all the positive things will be around us. Okay, so whenever we face some business, we should have good communication. Okay, whatever happens, we need to sit and talk, and we have to just sort out every now and then all the issues. Understood, children? So I just give you the mind map, the summary of this poem. Just see here. Angry with this friend. Okay, so this was written by poet William Blake. Angry with this friend, isn't it? Then he told him about the anger. So the anger ended. He was angry with his enemy. Did he tell? No, he did not tell. So the anger grew. He gave more life to anger with the fears and tears, isn't it? So had bad thoughts behind his smile. The smile was a fake one. It was not a real smile. So the anger grew day and night. Okay. It grew like a tree that bore an apple. So the anger was growing day and night. The enemy saw it was shining. What was shining? The apple was shining. He came secretly into the poet's garden. Okay, during the night time, isn't it? He came secretly and he ate the apple. In the morning, the poet's anger changed into gladness. His enemy was dead under the tree. So this is the poem by William Blake. Okay, so see here, it's a summary. In A Poison Tree, the speaker is angry with the friend. After telling the friend about this, the anger goes away. When the speaker gets angry with an enemy, he does not tell them, and the wrath begins to grow its limit, which is the apple. Soon the enemy snuck into the speaker's garden and ends up dead under the tree which he held the apple. You can find here, isn't it? I hope you all understood the poem, children. Okay, just see here. I told you, this is analysis. Just see here. Angry, this poem is about anger. How we deal with anger is very important, isn't it? See, the first two stanzas contrasts two different way of handling with anger. Okay, the first one is he was angry with the friend and he was just not so much concerned about it. He just spoke and he just sorted it out. But in the second stanza, he did not say, it grew. And there's also a warning about what can happen if you do not communicate your feelings, isn't it? Equally, the poet is communicating this important message to us. So what is that? We have to communicate. We have to talk and sort out things. See here, deception. Yeah. The speaker does not speak about his feelings to his enemy and bottles his emotions up. He was just storing up everything. The enemy then sneaks into his garden to steal the fruit. The word stole shows that the foe sneaks in and also reminds us that this is an act of theft, isn't it? So we should not try to steal others' things. We should not be deceitful. Okay, always you have to be real. Understood? So this poem has a lot of good values. So try to learn everything, children. I hope you all understood that poem. And just this is your assignment part. Okay, read the poem once, learn the appreciation question and answers, learn the paragraph answer. Okay, these both I have given in the PDF. Along with this video, we have given the PDF. So learn it and copy it in your classwork. Thank you, children. Have a blessed day.